Hey everybody, welcome to our species spotlight on the Pearl Gourami, Trichopodus leerii. Like our other species spotlights, we're going to start with a little bit on the origins of the fish, then behavior, size, tank size, compatibility and so forth, a bit on water chemistry and feeding, and then a quick summary at the end. The Pearl Gourami basically originates from Thailand and Malaysia, and also from the islands of Borneo and Sumatra. It's typically found in low-lying, swampy kind of areas. It is a fish that at this point really is not, you're not buying wild fish when you go to a pet store. The fish are basically raised or fish farmed commercially. USA, Southeast Asia, and Eastern Europe produce huge numbers of these fish, and that's typically where the originating sources of these fish originate from. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the behavior, size, compatibility, color, and so forth of the Pearl Gourami. The Pearl Gourami is considered one of the more peaceful gouramis. The males get to be very spectacular. They get longer anal fins and dorsal fins versus a female. They have a lot of fiery orange-red in the chest area. Very pretty fish. The females, while being pretty to look at, they do have a nice pearl pattern over the body and so forth. They are plumper, and their fins are more rounded. They're not quite as spectacular as the males. The maximum size these fish attain is about 4 to 4.5 inches. So they are a good sized gourami. They make for a beautiful showpiece fish as well. When you're keeping a group of these together in an aquarium, you want to make sure that it's a minimum tank size of about 36 by 12 by 15 or 90 centimeters by 30 centimeters by 45 centimeters high. That would be a good minimum tank range for a smaller group of, keeping a small group of Pearl Gouramis together. They definitely prefer planted aquariums, so a typical setup to keep Pearl Gouramis in that will be really suit these fish nicely will be dense thickets of wisteria, some other stem plants perhaps, and then a nice carpeting of cryptocorenes at the bottom with a little bit of driftwood, somewhat dimmer lighting conditions, not too bright. Mind you, if you have a lot of wisteria growth, it's going to end up at the surface, it's going to suck up a lot of the incoming light, so you can tend to raise light levels a bit to give the wisteria what it needs, but the cryptocorenes are obviously going to get the conditions they need at the bottom of the tank where it's a little bit dimmer. Now we're going to talk a bit about the water conditions that Pearl Gourami should be kept in. Typically, water flow could be considered medium. In other words, what is provided by a typically sized canister filter for your size of aquarium. Water temperature anywhere between 78 and 70 degrees, or 76 and 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Although we would prefer, somewhere between 78 and 82 is really being ideal for them. You could go a little bit higher during breeding if you wish. In terms of degrees of hardness, it should be between about 2 and 18 degrees, which is pretty broad. In terms of what is really a best range, we would recommend somewhere between 5 and 12 as really being ideal. And then when it comes to pH, well, the pH range could be kept, that's quite wide, between 5.5 and 7.5. Typically, we like to recommend about 6 to 7 for Pearl Gouramis. Pearl Gouramis are omnivores by nature, so they do accept a wide variety of foods. Smaller floating flakes and granules are a good choice, as are regular offers of glassworms, daphnia, brine shrimp, bloodworms, and so forth. Giving them that once or twice a week, along with careful feedings of a good quality flake food and granular food, is really very suitable to sustain these fish in good health. In summary, we'd like to say that we love the Pearl Gourami. Its dimensions really make it suitable as a showpiece kind of fish to a nicely planted aquarium. The males are spectacularly colored. They really are nice, and the anabantids in general have some interesting swimming behavior and antics when they're in an aquarium. The Pearl Gourami is a great choice for most keepers. Go ahead and try them today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. We always look forward to hearing from you. Take it easy, everybody, and until the next time.